Somebody messaged us on Instagram saying, we have no idea what the we are doing. And honestly, that's more common than people admit. Most trade businesses don't start with a plan. They start with a job, and then another job, and then an ABN, and then suddenly you're running a business. And if this sounds familiar, well, you're not alone. You didn't fail, you just built momentum before structure. What I want to do in this short video is walk through 5 key areas of your business, 5 simple places that you can check, adjust, or tighten up one thing at a time without trying to fix everything at once. This is for tradies who fell into business ownership, people relying heavily on referrals or contacts, and business owners that have been at it for a long time, and they want to make sure they're actually doing things that make sense. So before we talk about anything else is money and finance, because until you understand and trust these numbers, every decision is going to feel risky. Most tradies are good at earning money. Very few are confident with managing it. This is through no fault of your own, by the way. You just don't know what you don't know. If money is unclear, then everything else feels heavier than it needs to be. So here's the first action. Make sure that your business money and your personal money are 2 separate things. Look at last month and then ask yourself one simple question. Did the business actually make money, or did it just stay busy? You don't need to overcomplicate your accounting. You need a simple structure that makes profit intentional. If you want help learning about allocations, budgets, and making sure the business makes a profit, use Profit First as a guide. There's a link to that in the comments. When the money side is clearer, decisions stop feeling like guesses. Now that we've got the money picture dialed, let's talk about roles. So whether it's just you or you've got a couple of staff, this still applies. If you're running jobs, answering the phone, quoting jobs, making all the decisions, you're wearing lots and lots of hats. Even with staff out there on the tools, a lot of business owners are still running the business in their head. That's where the pressure comes from. So here's the action for this. Write down everything you do in a normal week. We call this a task audit. Circle the things that you only should be doing, and then highlight the other things that in a perfect world, you would be able to hand off to somebody else. If you stepped away for a week, what would actually break within the business? This is not about stepping back off the tools at this stage. This is about seeing where the business is overly dependent on you, and then building some systems to replace you in those different areas. The third, which brings us to the next area, which is systems. Systems are not software per se. They can be, but not always. They are the documentation of how you want things done. Even with staff, if everything flows through you, the business will always feel heavy, and essentially you will always be the bottleneck. So here's the action. Document how inquiries are managed, document how jobs are run, document the tasks that you need your team to perform to win at their job. That's a really good start. The goal here is not control, it's less mental load for you and more clarity for everybody else. So essentially with systems, you're creating a consistent manner of doing a thing. And if everybody understands how that's done, then it will always be done the same way, and it's one less thing you have to do. The fourth area is marketing. Now, referrals are great, but you can't scale them. Marketing should make it easy for people to understand and trust you before they make an inquiry. So here are some actions that you can take with this. Google your own business name and then ask yourself this: is it crystal clear what we do, where we do it, who we do it for, and do we make it easy for people to contact us? If that is not clear, then fix that first. If you need help or assistance with marketing, or you want a custom strategy for your trade business, head over to tradiewebguys.com.au and start the conversation there. That is what we do. Clear messaging supports referrals. It doesn't replace them. So just focus on answering these key questions. What is it that we do? Where do we do it? And who do we do it for? And the fifth area is direction. And direction only works when it's tied to clear goals. Without the goals, most businesses just react to whatever comes in. That's how you end up being busy without feeling like you're getting anywhere. So here's the action. Decide what a realistic, achievable target looks like for your business, aka a goal, not a dream version, a practical version. And then we're going to reverse engineer the stepping stones to help you get to that goal. So ask yourself questions like this: how much turnover do we want to shoot for? How many jobs do we actually need per week for us to hit that turnover? And more importantly, how many staff members or hires are we going to need to make in order for us to be able to deliver those jobs, in order for us to be able to hit this financial target? When the goals and the stepping stones are clear, decisions get easier. You know which work to say yes to, you know which work to say no to, and you stop guessing whether or not you're on track because you have the data. And that is what gives the business direction. So how to use the 5 areas that we've just discussed. You do not need to fix all of these at once. These are 5 areas to work through one at a time. Whichever section feels the messiest or the most uncomfortable, that's the best place to start. Work on the one area that feels lighter, then move to the next. So if you feel like you accidentally became a business owner, you're not alone. That's how most trade businesses start out. You're not a bad business owner. You're not bad at business. You just need to be shown some of these things in the right order. These 5 areas give you a clear place to start. For money and profit basics, go and head across to Profit First and use that as a guide. Again, there's a link to that book in the comments. To learn more about systems, I encourage you to read the book Systemology. Again, there'll be a link to that in the comments. And on that topic, we've done loads of podcasts at the siteshed.com relative to Profit First, and I've even had Dave from Systemology come on and talk about Systemology, so you can go and check that out. If you know where you want to be in business, but you're not quite sure how to get there, that's where Roadmap helps. We map out the next 12 months so the goals are realistic and they're achievable and they actually fit around life and you being on site. If marketing or structure is where you need help, head across to tradiewebguys.com.au and start the conversation with us. You do not need to know everything, you just need a clear next step. Hey guys and girls, how would you like all of the value adds left behind from our podcast guest all put together in the one spot? We've pulled every tool together, every template, every resource shared on the show, and we've packed them all into the Tradie Academy. It's free to join and it's built by the team behind the SiteShed and Tradie Web Guys. Inside, you'll get marketing tips, business tools, and first access to future resources, all in one simple dashboard. Just head across to tradie.wiki/pod. That's tradie.wiki/pod. The link's in the episode description. And once again, you just log in once and then you're all set. And if you want to get notified of upcoming episodes, hit subscribe or follow.